Hi, I'm Mike. Now gardens, the average garden size shrinking, people may not think that they've got room for trees these days, but there are so many brilliant trees which will go fantastically in a small space and won't take up too much of your garden or give you too much shade. I've got 5 here to show you. First being over here, these 2 here being crabapple trees. Now they're some really lovely ones. As you can see, this one here, which is called Red Sentinel, has got some fantastic bright red apples pretty much all the way down the stem, so that's very attractive for autumn colour. And look, the other one being Royal Beauty here, which is a weeping one, which means it doesn't grow up too high, it'll just grow up really rather nice, like an umbrella shape. And that also got some really nice, slightly smaller but attractive berries to it as well. Now prunus or flowering cherries or plum trees are also great. Most people tend to think of them as a spring flowering tree, but they also have some fantastic, really interesting autumn foliage turn their colour. They'll turn. Certainly they're just starting to, as you can see on here, starting to turn yellowy, orangey. Yeah, they'll really be ablaze soon. And this one here, Prunus Amanogawa, as you can probably see from the label here, is very, very upright and straight. So it's not going to branch out too much at all. It's going to be nice and narrow, and it's not going to overhang your neighbour's garden. So that's a perfect one for a small garden. Here we have a mountain ash, or rowan you might know them as. Sorbus is the proper name. They have very nice berries in the autumn, and the leaves also change like the prunus, like the flowering cherries do. These beautiful, long, elegant leaves to this one, it's called Olympic Flame. Fantastic variety, probably the best variety of Sorbus we do. As I say, really bright foliage colour in the autumn and nice big berries. Okay, so they're the 4 small trees for an ornamental garden, but also don't forget there's lots of apples, cherries, all sorts of fruiting trees that are also great for a small garden as well. Thanks to the rootstock that the variety is grafted onto, that will determine the vigour, the rate of growth in other words, that it will grow. So that there's a good apple tree for every garden, or whatever fruit tree you fancy. Now the benefits of these trees, as well as the foliage, fruit colour, or even fruit eating, as in with apple and fruit trees, they just give a really nice structure to your garden, bit of height, bit of shade if you need it, but as I say, not too much perhaps. Also great for wildlife to nest in, to get fruit from. So make sure you have a good solid, about 5 foot I always recommend, tree stake, which wants to go a good 1/3 into the ground, because it doesn't need to go right up the stem, just needs to give it a bit of resistance from the wind. And also make sure that the stake is on the windward side of the tree. That will help as well. And use a good buckle tree tie as well, that's great. And of course give it some good compost around the roots, like our rose tree and shrub compost is fantastic for that. Okay, so you've seen a few trees here. If you want to get more advice, and we have lots more different varieties for the garden, come and see me or my colleagues and we'll give you some help.